Last November, Oceana sounded the alarm on a report that the government of Belize was considering conducting seismic testing and offshore drilling in Belizean waters. The news shocked many in the environmental community because of what such an activity would do: nullify an indefinite moratorium on offshore oil in its marine territory, including territorial seas and exclusive economic zone that the Barrow administration had instituted in October of 2017. It would also put the marine life and resources, as well as the vulnerable tourism industry, in direct risk should there be an oil spill at sea. Prime Minister John Briceño responded, assuring Oceana that his government also supports the ban on offshore drilling. The government had indicated that if it changes its position on the matter, it could only do so if the public agrees to it by way of a national vote. Back when he was the Minister of the Blue Economy, Andre Perez told the media that while there might have been discussions off the record on petroleum resources as a form of income under the Blue Economy, no sound government would contemplate offshore exploration.
There is nothing on record that has been discussed in Cabinet about seismic. One-on-one discussions, it has been discussed what is out there as it relates to the blue economy. Let's not forget what is the blue economy. And we have to educate our people what is the definition of the blue economy. And the definition of the blue economy basically states is that whatever is out there available for us, that is there for us to take, to extract, whether it's seafood or whether it's out there, we do it in a manner that is environmentally friendly and at the same time very much sustainable. Now, back to what that organization sung the alarm bells like if the sky is falling down. That's what I call it. It's regrettable. It was unnecessary. I am part of a government that is very responsible, and no one in cabinet or in our government in their right mind would want to do any kind of drilling. And I have every confidence what my Prime Minister said was basically something of an opinion, and nothing is wrong with that.
Oceana's Vice President, Janelle Chanona, had asked PM Briceño for a meeting to discuss the possibility of amending existing laws to include a referendum. Chanona mentioned in her letter that once the amendments to the laws are made, Oceana would discontinue a petition it was conducting on the matter, an undertaking that the PM said was unnecessary. The petition drew 22,000 signatures, more than the 10% of the electorate than it needed to trigger the referendum. They were delivered to Governor General Froila Salam in June and handed over to the Attorney General's office thereafter, where the government was seeking legal advice on the matter. On that occasion, Chanona told the media that Belizeans are against offshore drilling because it could negatively impact our lives if something should go wrong.
Why this emotion is so high around this issue? Because, as I said, so many things fall off of the stove, back of the stove, get lost, replaced by the next scandal or the next big issue. But this issue, there has been persistence, resistance, perseverance. Belizeans really don't want to be left out of this conversation because I think they fully grasp, or very many Belizeans fully grasp what that would mean and just how inherently dirty and dangerous it is. And I think it's so, as I said, that connectedness at a spiritual, at a soulful level, but also that realistic and very real interconnectedness in terms of our jobs, our way of life, our food, our cultures. And I think increasingly it's not lost that environmental justice has and is now being perceived by so many as a human right.
Today, the two opposing parties, Oceana and the government, issued a joint statement on the matter. It opens up by saying that the dispute arose over the proper legal process required to hold a referendum on a constitutional amendment to the moratorium on offshore oil exploration. In it, the government states that it has no intention of amending or repealing the provisions of the Moratorium Act. Both sides say they are committed to respecting the demand of Belizeans for meaningful consultation on the matter through a referendum. The government has since committed to introducing a bill in Parliament on Friday to amend the Referendum Act so that it makes a referendum mandatory prior to any proposed amendment or repeal of the Petroleum Operations Maritime Zone Moratorium Act. This amendment must ensure that everyone of voting age will have a chance to vote in a national referendum if the government chooses to amend or repeal the Moratorium Act. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.